Alright there, YouTube. So, another top 10 list from me. So, again, all these top 10 lists are just my personal opinion alone, so you don't have to agree with them. So, creepypastas, they're, urban stories and short horror stories that have featured on the internet and have spooked us out for many years. So, let's get our countdown going. At number 10, it's Through the Keyhole. Through the Keyhole. When a man goes and stays in a hotel, he's told that when he gets his key to his room, that when on his way to his room, he'll walk past a door with no number on it, and he is advised by the receptionist not to look in it. Anyway, his curiosity gets the better of him and he looks through it. The first time he looks through, it's just a woman in a white nightdress and long dark hair. And then the next day he looks again, only this time seeing nothing but red. He then goes down to the reception and admits that he looked through the keyhole, and then the receptionist said that a man once murdered his wife in there and she still haunts it. She just looks tall with long black hair and a white dress and bloodshot eyes. Next on the list is Squidward Suicide at number 9. Squidward Suicide. Now, it's just like an episode of SpongeBob. An intern at Nickelodeon looks at a tape with an episode of SpongeBob SquarePants called Squidward Suicide. Starts like a normal episode of SpongeBob, but eventually disturbing images start appearing on the screen, and Squidward gets booed off a stage at a clarinet concert. The episode ends where he blows his brains out. Next one. Number 9 is Persuaded. Persuaded. When an oil leak happens on a cargo ship, it unleashes some sort of chemical that it unleashes some kind of brain parasites that turn the people into mindless zombies. However, the author of the story manages to lock himself in his bathroom, and instead of them breaking down the door, they just stand there, constantly whispering to him, "Join us." After so long, the offer starts to be sound. Very, very tempting. Sorry about the drawings, how crap they are, I'm just a crap drawer. Number 7, Laughing Jack. That's right, Laughing Jack. A single father notices that his son has got an imaginary friend called Laughing Jack, until bizarre things start happening around the house that he thinks is his son, but then it turns out it's Laughing Jack. He then eventually, at the end of the story, finds his son cut right open and pinned up against the wall, yet he's still alive, and all he can hear is that horrible laughing. Just the horrible laughing of Laughing Jack, with that clown-like face, the messy wild hair, the feathers, the pointy spiral nose, So yes, that's at number 7. At number 6 is The Stone Angel. A couple go out on a date night and leave their kids with a babysitter. The babysitter wants to watch some TV, but they haven't got a good TV in the living room. She then asks the parents on the phone if she can use the master room because they have better cable and watch Netflix. So she's sat there watching, but there's a mysterious, creepy stone angel in the corner by the window. She then phones up and asks if she can cover up the stone angel. But then the parents reply to her, "We don't own a stone angel." They told her to get out and call the police. They tell her to get out while they call the police. Parents return. They're all dead. Next is number 5, tobing. Tobing. A young boy suffering from Tourette's has a recent loss from his sister being killed in a car accident. He gets picked on a lot, and then he is one day influenced and loses all sanity after a tall, faceless figure in a black suit, I think, the Slender Man that is, when we'll get to him in a moment. He's then tempted into doing terrible things and starts killing his bullies and everything. Now, I've only read that story once, but I think that is all that happened. I ought to give it another read sometime. Number 4, the Rake. The Rake. A woman wakes up in the middle of the night to find at the foot of her bed a hairless, dog-like man creature with fearsome claws. She turns to her husband, and then, within the blink of an eye, he's gone into the daughter's room. The parents rush into the room and find their daughter mutilated. With her final dying words, "He is the Rake." Number 3, Jeff the Killer, or Go to Sleep. Jeff, a young lad who moves in to a new neighbourhood, notices little brother's getting bullied, so he fights the bullies and overpowers them. But of course, the bullies don't let it go, because then they eventually bleach and burn his face. So driven from his insanity because of his deformity, his mother then went into the bathroom and then looked as she heard some crying. She noticed Jeff was cutting a gruesome smile into his face and removing his eyelids. His mother then rushed to the room, and there Jeff was standing in the doorway. He brutally killed his parents and his little brother, telling them all to go to sleep. Number 2 is the Slender Man. An icon in urban legends, the Slender Man. He's described as a tall, faceless man hiding in the woods with long limbs and inhuman-like tentacles, wearing nothing but a black suit and a red tie. No one really knows much about him, and I don't know if he has an actual story of his own, but he's been known to appear in a lot of other creepypastas. He also made his big internet appearance in the game Slender, the 8 Pages. Okay, now before I reveal my number 1 pick, I just want to throw in a few honourable mentions to some creepypastas that didn't quite make it into my top 10, but I think deserve a call out. So they are Eyeless Jack, The Russian Sleep Experiment, 1999, Lightning, The Midnight Man, I Told You to Smile, what else? The Goat Man, Sonic.exe, Ben Drowned, and what else was there? I've said 1999. Oh yeah, and suicidemouse.exe.avi, sorry. So yes, time for my number 1 reveal. Number 1, Abandoned by Disney. Now, this isn't quite a big creepypasta, but it is the one that actually did creep me out quite a bit. Now, a lot of people won't find it scary. I didn't really find it scary, found it more creepy and spine-chilling, but here's as it goes. In the Bahamas, an abandoned jungle theme park from Disney called Mowgli's Palace, for some unknown reason, was just abandoned. However, a blogger later goes and investigates. I'm getting goosebumps just thinking about it. There at Mowgli's Palace he found everything spray painted on, abandoned by Disney. He wandered around the hotel rooms, heard some whispering noises, saying, "I didn't know. I didn't know." And the other voice just stuttering and making noises. Anyway, he then notices a balloon statue just waving to no one. Then he goes into the palace, looks around, sees swinging meat hooks, holds one still, they swing again. He goes outside, notices that there's a lifelike statue of a python, but then finds out it was real, discovering that that was where the reptile house were. Knowing Disney was responsible for it, shaken up by his encounter, and as the day drew to a close, he thought he'd just sit down on the steps. He then wandered around. He then saw a sign that said "Mascots Only, Thank You." With his curiosity getting the better of him, time and decay rusting up the locks, he managed to break through. There he saw an abandoned staff quarters, just like in a post-apocalyptic film, and then he looks at one room that says "Room Prep 1. He can't get it open. He walks off. He then sees it open. He goes in, finds costumes of Disney characters, all moulded and decaying. He notices a strange photo-negative Mickey Mouse costume laying in the middle, black where he should have been white, white where he should have been black, with blue overalls. He then goes and he then takes photos. He wants to get a good photo of Donald Duck head, but then a human skull drops out, shaking him. Then the Mickey Mouse costume then gets up and says in a very perverse but perfectly good Mickey Mouse voice, saying to him, "Hey, wanna see my head come off?" Next thing, he starts twisting and turning at his head as thick chunks of yellow blood come oozing out of it. The blogger then went to run. As he ran, he saw written on the wall behind him the final message: "Clawed in blood, abandoned by God." Well, that's it for this top 10 list. Let me know what your top favourite creepypastas are in the comments below. And yeah, so my battery's low. So yeah, do that. And if you liked it, give that like button a click. Sorry about the quality of the pictures, not good. It's just I rely on the natural light a lot. I can get the flash, but it just drains out much of the battery. Anyway, yep, till next time, goodbye friends. Subscribe if you want to see more. I'll see you after this one.